Yeah. So, good morning, everyone. So today we have the third session of selling and negotiation skills lab. This was our 5 year. We are doing some sessions on some of the key courses of MBA syllabus. So today we have the third topic on selling and negotiation skills master class part 3. You know, Sir was an extreme personality and he was specialized in behavioral management solutions. He was the founder of Attitude Positive Hyderabad in, and a founder director. So, with these brief remarks, I am welcoming all for the session. So, I request you, sir, to add some more if students are joined, add some more students to the stage and share your presentation, sir.
I have to come back again. No more are there, no? Okay.
Okay, now present your screen, sir.
No more are there. No, I'll go with my
Yeah,
present.
add your
Okay.
presentation, sir. Okay.
It's visible, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, visible, sir.
Okay. Good morning, friends. I also welcome you all the friends on the live stream of YouTube now, and all my student friends who joined us today. And I am extremely happy today again to speak on negotiation skills. It's a masterclass part 3. At the outset, I would like to express my gratitude and sincere thanks to our revered faculty who is a pivot for the Hindu College Management Program there at Machilipatnam. Sri Upendra sir is senior assistant professor who is monitoring the program there. Thank him once again for inducting me into this morning session. Let's examine what we have discussed so far is the introductory aspect of the negotiation and the importance of negotiation. And the next part we have discussed on negotiation table and what are the strategies that are important for studying negotiations in a sales scenario, as a matter of fact, and what type of skill set is necessary for a negotiator, a sales negotiator. I'm sitting across the conversation table. And we also talked about what sort of process that is adopted in the pyramid of success, right, from preparation to final close of the sale. So, having said that, let us examine how these things work out, especially in negotiation. How you're going to handle your opponent types is very, very important. The syllabus indicates one or two words on the opponent types, and I thought it proper to have a discussion on the type of opponents you're dealing with in a negotiation, which is said to be very crucial in on negotiation table. So as such, understanding the type of opponent whom with whom you're facing and sitting across the conversation table, negotiation table is very, very crucial now, and it's very important for us to tailor your strategy effectively if you know the opponent types and their reaction patterns. So, with this intention, we just go with a general discussion on categorization of two broad types, visceral and idea driven. We have already talked about it in the earlier session, but let me explain you in clear terms how we are going to tailor your conversation style and strategy in order to effectively face and conclude the sale with reference to these two types of opponents. I mean to say the other parties sitting across the table. One is a logical, totally logical minded, and says one is emotionally oriented, and the second one is logically oriented. So, how you're going to handle your sales conversations is said to be very important. Let's see. What is this visceral opponent? Meaning, we have already talked about it earlier, but context permit me to talk in detail about it because in conversation table, the actual drama takes place in the process of conversation across the table. So how the people would converse and all is very important. Again, what we have already said is the salesperson always must be conscious of the other party in the process when sitting across the negotiation table. So as such, we need to understand clearly the opponent. We should know the opponent, as a matter of fact, clearly. So what are his characteristics and how he may react to our own sales arguments, etc. So with this, we need to look into some of the important characteristics of this class of opponents who are almost emotive. That means they have a lot of emotions and personal feelings. They're driven by emotions and personal feelings. And always they make decisions based on very immediate reactions. They're so much excited. There are a lot of mental excitements that they experience. So they tend to prioritize personal values, beliefs, and emotional satisfaction before anything else. So you need to note down clearly that what are their personal values. Through the process of conversations you can understand, and what are these their beliefs and belief system, and what is the emotional satisfaction they want to derive out of this sales deal. Maybe more impulsive and less focused on logical analysis. We have already said earlier they're more impulsive. They're not mostly focusing on logical analysis. They're not interested in the logical problem solving analysis, because they are being influenced by what I should say, emotions and personal feelings, and their decisions mostly based on immediate reactions, and they prioritize personal values and beliefs and emotional satisfaction. So they are almost very, very impulsive and very less focused on logic. Now then, having understood this, what's your approach? How you handle this type of an opponent across the table? First one is building rapport. Establish a strong personal connection to gain their trust and influence their emotions positively. Appreciate what they say. Align your conversation definitely to the conversations that are.
So yeah, we are getting some noise, editing noise.
There are a lot of disturbances there, yes or no?
Uh, Sometimes is it?
No, now it is fine, huh?
Ah,
Okay.
yes, sir, fine.
Okay, fine. But then, okay, let me go, because there's a very high sound that is entering my ear. Now it is. Can I
Why
continue
is
like this,
it?
or
Uh, we go for half an hour, then we stop there. Okay, afterwards, because it's
mm,
on live. Or
so? Is the sound too much disturbing you, or tell me
not
first
that.
about that?
Sometimes is it not regularly?
So can I go with earphones so that
May
and
reduce. Okay, we
Bluetooth?
can earphones.
That would be good, Gada. So if
Oh,
you
okay.
reduce the noise levels. I do not know. Align or chitter.
We do it for 45 minutes, sir, then we stop otherwise. It,
Let me check first.
okay.
With earphones, it will be fine. Means okay. Okay. Now the next question is: you should be empathetic towards the person across the table. So you need to. show some genuine understanding and concern for their feelings and perspectives. It's because they are very emotionally aroused and all. They talk to you on a personal level and all that. They are very impulsive as such. So you need to show genuine interest, understanding, and concern for their feelings and perspectives. The third one is you should start using emotional appeals, because we have already said they are emotionally oriented. They have a lot of mental excitements as such. So emotional appeals in the sales talk can work out better for them. So let's examine. Use stories, testimonials, and vivid descriptions that resonate emotionally. Talk about the XYZ who have taken this product and who are completely satisfied with this kind of a thing, and bring testimonials or use stories, whatever. So that can help. So these are mostly emotional appeals. Rational appeals won't go. So emotional appeals will definitely go, because you talk about your logical reasoning about the product, price, quality, functionality, this and that. It may not go good with regard to this type of people sitting across the conversation table. Then reassurance, that is, it provide assurances that address fears or concerns. See, say the other party will have lot of doubts, and they would like to know what would be the scenario if they buy the product or whatever. So it is very important for you to provide a lot of assurances that address their fears and concerns. Very, very important, because they are very fearful and all, because they are highly emotional, as a matter of fact. So let us take an example. Say customer passionate about environmental sustainability. Earlier also I just brought this example for discussion. In personal selling, a customer passionate about environmental sustainability might be considered a visceral opponent, because the product is the functional utility of the product is not important for them, but it is environment friendly or not. That's very, very important. For example, if you look at the products that you buy with the packages which are not biodegradable and all, now I am looking at the products which are environmentally good, should not do any harm to environment. So this is an emotional, thing, a bonding with our environment, and I am looking at every aspect of my life. I am very close to what I do should not create any harm to the environment. So I use those products which are said to be environmentally friendly, and I support all those producers and companies who produce environmental friendly products, who are taking green initiatives and environmental friendly approaches they take in their manufacturing processes and distribution of different type of products. So the customer who is passionate about environmental sustainability, how do you persuade them? How do you persuade them? It's no more logic building exercise like this is the utility of the product, this is the price and all. No. To persuade this type of people, especially in a situation when they are very passionate towards environmental sustainability, a salesperson could emphasize economic friendly aspects, eco-friendly aspects of the product, and share emotional stories about how the product contributes to the environmental conservation. That means the packages that you use are all biodegradable, whatever. This is a green investment where you are not degrading the environment. So that's how you need to reassure them of the company's commitment to sustainability, environmental sustainability. People are just interested in not the product as such, as a whole only, but they are interested in your support to environment through the products that you are going to manufacture and distribute. So this is a very good example of a customer to be handled who is said to be a visceral opponent. Let us look at the second one, idea driven, as I've already told you earlier. Idea driven or mostly driven by logic. Let's look at the characteristics. And you can answer yourself how to handle this type of an opponent sitting across the negotiation table. Driven by logic, facts, and rational analysis. There is no other alternative. They are mostly logical, they want facts and figures, and they go with rational analysis. They don't take mental excitements just like the other customer we are talking about. Make decisions based on data, evidence, and long term considerations. They buy not for today, but for tomorrow. I mean to say, what is the durability aspect of it? What is the quality, whatever, price, everything. So their buying decisions are completely based on data. So you have to provide data. So then they tend to prioritize efficiency, effectiveness, and logical consistency. Very important. You need to talk on efficiency level of your product superiority, effectiveness of the product's use or whatever. So they tend to prioritize on these things, and they are more methodical and analytical in their approach. So you please try to understand how careful you must be in monitoring your sales talk and sales presentation. They are very, very methodical. Step one, step two, step three, step four. They are very analytical. Each step you talk, each point you talk, they analyze with facts, figures. They look at every sales argument through a magnifying glass, and what is their advantage in it, they will look at. Of course, I'm not saying whether something is right or wrong with regard to these type of people, but they want to have the money's worth. That's it. So they are driven by logic, facts, and they look at the data, evidence, and they go in for long-term considerations. They always ask about efficiency and effectiveness, and they are said to be very methodical and analytical in their approach. Now, if this is the scenario which you're facing, right, a customer who is said to be highly logical, then what's your approach? Naturally, first would be provide data and evidence, present clear factual information and statistics that support your position. Make a comparative analysis of X, Y, Z products and your X, how you are different from Y and Z. That can be one because you have to put clearly the factual information. No emotional appeals, absolutely rational appeal. Present factual information, clear factual information to support your position. And second one is logical arguments. It goes without saying. Construct a well-reasoned arguments that align with their logical framework. That means they will ask you questions one, two, three, four, five. You have to answer one, two, three, four, five in a seriatim. That should be your well-designed, reasoned arguments. Construct a well-reasoned arguments that align with that logical framework. Absolutely. Then, third one is a structured proposals. There is no hit or miss here. You have to give all the facts and figures. That's why you are supposed to offer a very detailed, organized proposals that outline the benefits and advantages very clearly. Clearly, one, two, three, four, five. Offer as many details as possible as the customer asks, as the other opponent asks across the negotiation table. Present and organized proposals. Very, very important. And outline all the underlying benefits and advantages very clearly. And fourth one would be address concerns. I've already told you they will be having a lot of logical questions on your proposal. Don't find any fault with them, but you need to address all the concerns. Anticipate and address potential objections. Very, very important here. They may not ask straight away, but they may be having in their mind something about doubts or whatever, because they are very analytical and rational. So you anticipate what may be the probable questions that they may have or potential objections they may have, and counter them with your logical arguments. It's not a question of debate. It's an understanding between yourself and the opponent, and to help them. When we say logical counter arguments, it is not hitting on the face of the other person. It is something like addressing all their concerns, potential objections, and their fears and all, and support them with the product benefit or service benefit, whatever it is. So this the approach to handle the second type of idea type of opponents is that you have to provide data and evidence. Second one is you are supposed to be tuning in with logical arguments, and you must be ready with highly structured proposals, and you must have to anticipate and address potential objections and address all possible concerns. Let's look at another example. In personal selling, a procurement officer focused on cost effectiveness and efficiency might be an idea driven opponent. For example, a company's procurement officer want to procure a raw material. He is focusing on what? Cost effectiveness and efficiency. So you're a salesperson. How to persuade your procurement officer? You are from the supplier side of the raw material supplier side, and you are presenting, is also a sales argument before the procurement officer. You both sat across the table of negotiation. A salesperson in this given setting could persuade them by providing detailed cost benefit analysis. What are the costs? What are the benefits that they can derive out of this by purchasing this? Highlighting long term savings, how much savings they have, and likely to have, and presenting structured, very structured proposals, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and demonstrate the product's efficiency and effectiveness when compared to that of other product choices the procurement officer is looking at. Am I clear? So this is a systematic approach of handling the second type of an opponent. Okay, this is about the characteristics of the different two types of opponents, and the approaches that you're going to follow with these two types of opponents. Let us now look at very specific strategies for dealing with different types of opponents. Because we have already said, it's not simply an approach that to handle an opponent may not be sufficient. You should have a very specific strategy. Let us examine the strategy options you have to face the visceral opponent across the table. A customer or a person who is highly emotional and driven by emotions. So let's look at these strategies. They work well, definitely. First one is identify emotional triggers. Yes, very, very important. So, what emotions drive their decisions? Identify. You should be intelligent enough. Is it fear? Is it joy? Is it pride or whatever? For example, in case of a car, for example, they are very much interested to look at, they are very much concerned about the customer is very much probable customer is very much concerned about the safety, and they are very fearful about the traffic and the problem of accidents and possibilities and all. So they are said to be very fearful. So you answer that. What are the important safety features that are there in the car you're selling? And this can be one. I'm just looking at one or two important examples like that. Suppose they are very much worried about their pride. No, no, we want to have a status symbol. Our car should be our status symbol and all. Then suggest a premium branded vehicle and how good it looks and which can answer their pride. See, look at what this all through conversations, isn't it? So identify emotional triggers. determine what emotions drive their decisions, and then answer them accordingly. A second point, use reliable stories. They are more towards testimonials. If X bought or Y bought, Z bought, of high status individuals, they bought the products. Yeah. Share the stories and examples that evoke emotions aligned with their values. So that's very important. Testimonials are important, and talking about the reliable stories are important. Relatable stories are important. Relate them with the highly satisfied customer groups who bought your product or who brought your services. That's it. Then create a positive atmosphere. What may happen is when a person is emotionally tuned, there are chances of getting into negative emotions very easily. So it is up to you to create a very positive atmosphere there. Ensure the negotiation environment is comfortable and positive, because never ever rub on the wrong side. For example, if you're selling a real estate project, right, a product, so the customer may have a lot of doubts, and they may raise a lot of allegations on your project based on the news report he has got. How do you handle? Of course, there is no other point. You have to defend your company. That's true. But then these negative emotions are ruling his mind about your company. So if you rub on the wrong side, it will be quite difficult for you to cash on the sale and close the sale. Create a positive atmosphere. Bring out all your points of view to negate the false news about this company. That's why you have to bring in all relatable stories and satisfied customers of that particular real estate project. Bring them, bring their interviews, testimonials, record them and present them before the customers. So this is very important. Ensure the negotiation environment is comfortable and very positive. Then personalize the offer. See, this is very important. But highly emotive people value personal relationships mostly. So you need to tailor your proposal and sales presentation to reflect their personal values and emotional priorities. So you can say, yes, sir, I understand your concern. So this is me for you, please. This is my product, and I assure you. So this kind of what do you call personalizing the offer for you and for you only, like type of a thing, like can work better. So look at the strategies in order to uh, you know in order to handle the conversation with a visceral opponent across the table. Identify emotional triggers, catch them there, and use relatable stories which are aligned with their values. Create a positive atmosphere, never rub on the wrong side, and make yourself and the other person also in a comfortable and positive scenario, and personalize the offer. Tailor your personal proposal to reflect their personal values and all. Look at another example. How the strategies can be worked out here. And a customer interested in a luxury goods, right? And please note that he's a visceral opponent. And this type of a customer who is interested in luxury goods is more likely to respond positively to a narrative about the exclusivity and prestige of the product rather than its technical specifications. I was telling you this example just now. A premium branded car is being sold, is being put on a retail showroom. Okay, and the customer walks in. So this he is a customer of having, driven by emotions, not by logic. So there is nothing like presenting the technical details and specifications about the product. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to talk about the technical specifications, but no, you need to be more concerned about catching the customer on the arguments with reference to prestige of the product. What is the value of the customer's prestige? Look at that. So this is an example where you can use a strategy with regard to people who are said to be highly emotional. They are not bothered very much about your logical arguments. So that's how you need to handle it. Let's look at the other idea driven opponent. An idea driven opponent, as I've already told you, they are specific about the problem, very specific about their solutions, their debate on the facts, figures, price, everything, whatever it is. Now, how to handle strategy one? Prepare thoroughly because they are logical. Please note, they will be arguing very logically. Unless you prepare thoroughly, it is difficult because you're not supposed to take them for a mental excursion. Excited states you create and all, and fantasy scenarios you create and try to sell, it's not possible. They are perfectly logical in their arguments. So prepare thoroughly, gather all the relevant data, facts, and figures to support your position. If you're not, please do some sort of homework clearly. And before making a proposal, make sure that you have got all the relevant data. Otherwise, difficult. The second one is that a logical structure. That means the customer will look at a logical order of your arguments 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. So it's very important for you because you're not creating, again, I repeat that you're not creating any mental excitements there, but you are going to present your proposal in a very structured fashion. If you cannot, you are a misfit there and the conversations can derail. So you need to concentrate on your logical structure. Present your arguments in a very crystal clear logical sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which may lead to opening to close of the deal. So tailor your arguments. Then anticipate questions, very important here. Most of the people who are said to be very logical with regard to data, facts, figures, and all, they want money's worth of their product or service offer. So try to anticipate the probable questions that they pose. Be ready to answer detailed questions with well supported answers. That's why you need to take a lot of homework in preparing your structured proposals. No haphazard exercise of coming to the customer half handedly. Very, very difficult for you to handle. That's it. So be ready to answer all the detailed questions with well structured answers. Then highlight long-term benefit. They look at the long-term thing. They're not very much interested in the short-term advantage they're going to get because they are logical. What is there in the product for me in the long run? They ask. They look at that. So focus on the practical and long-term advantages of your proposal. So these are the strategies in order to accept a dialogue table with the idea-driven opponent. Prepare thoroughly, bring out the logical structure in your arguments, and prepare for anticipate questions and prepare well supported answers, and then give the advantage for them to understand the long-term benefits they derive out of this proposal. An example again: a business client evaluating a new software system. Now you are a software company and a business client came to you for evaluating your software system, and that the client is an idea driven opponent who is very much tuned to logic, facts, figures, data. How do you respond? And that person would respond better to a detailed presentation showing what your ROI, return on investment. See, suppose, sir, for example, you take our software and you spend today, tomorrow, day after, how you are going to get back your money, return on investment. Present the possible case studies, how other companies got the advantage of having your own software system. So you also provide the technical specifications, detailed technical specifications. And forget about emotional appeals. They are not interested in any sort of mental excitements. All your relatable stories, if they are not supported by data driven, they don't swallow all your arguments like that. So look at this. So you need to respond to the type of the customer with whom you're handling. Okay. See, can you, there one question to our mind. Human beings are always partly rational and partly emotional. And it's again difficult for us to brand somebody is emotional, somebody is rational. We are this way, that way. It's 50-50 or 70-30. For depends upon the scenarios and all. So then you need to be combining these two approaches of assuming that the people can be partly rational and partly emotional. That's why we say sometimes opponents may exhibit both visceral and idea driven characteristics. And how do you handle? So you can say, so I am programmed with regard to this and with regard to that and all. There are not nothing like a watertight compartments as such. So once you consider this kind of a very important assumption that the human beings are partly rational and partly emotional. So in such cases, a balanced approach that addresses both emotional and logical aspects can be very effective. Let's examine with some examples. A small business or owner is considering a new marketing service. And note that the small business owner is a mixed opponent. He is emotional at the same time rational. So now, an appeal to owner's entrepreneurial pride. See, the small business owner is an entrepreneur who has come to you for a marketing service. So first take his entrepreneurial pride as a selling point. So you try to appeal owner's entrepreneurial pride, assuming that he is emotional by sharing success stories of other small businesses that benefited from your marketing service. And that gives him a pride. Okay, XYZ has used your service. Me too will use your service. See, that's what the emotional content in your sales arguments. What is that? You're boosting up the owner's entrepreneurial pride by sharing these success stories. Okay. Now the customer is data driven, for example, idea driven. Then your sales presentation would be through providing data on how the service increases customer engagement and sales. It's finish. Say, I'm not feeling great for getting the service from your side. So my entrepreneurial pride is not important for me. If the customer thinks like that, he is idea driven. So then for those type of people, you need to provide data on how the service increases customer engagement and sales. Take these two steps together. They take these two steps together. Answer them emotionally, answer them rationally with your own sales arguments. This is what we call a combined approach. So before we close, I just would like to sum up the entire thing because there's some disturbance going on there. So try to understand whether your opponent is highly emotional or idea driven. It's very, very essential for tailoring your negotiation strategy very effectively. Very, very important for you to tailor your negotiation strategy effectively. If you do not take or organize yourself, consider sufficient homework, it is difficult for you to handle this type of people. So people with high emotional orientation, visceral opponents, respond very well to emotional appeals minded. Again, I repeat, by conclusion. And personal connections are said to be very important for them. And for the idea driven opponents, prioritize logical arguments and factual evidence. So you should be both combining your strategies to handle sales arguments accordingly, because we safely assume that we go with the assumption that human beings are partly rational and partly emotional. Sometimes you have to bring in emotional appeals. Sometimes you have to bring in rational appeals as such. I'll give you one good example of how um, emotional appeals can work better, or fear appeals. Fear appeal, you know what is meant by fear appeal? Fear appeal. Let's examine one good national advertisement strategy adopted by Life Insurance Corporation of India. Now, selling life insurance is a bitter thing, right? So it centers around what? It centers around death, death of the head of the family. If sufficient insurance provision is made to the family members, the death may not be that inconvenient in terms of financial cushions that the family can get. Of course, they may lose a family member. That's a different story. But then, if they what you call a cushion is there, some premium amount, maturity proceeds will be delivered to the people. So what did they show, in advertisements? A person is swinging in a cradle, a big, I mean to say a big executive is shown as swinging in a cradle. అంటే ఉయ్యాలన్నమాట ఊగుతుంటాడు. Suddenly he disappears from that particular place and finds himself in a photo frame. Finds himself his photograph in a photo frame, and the photo frame is garlanded. And the video comes to the doorstep where LIC agent comes and hand over the proceeds, maturity proceeds of a big insurance policy. Look at this. Look at this. So it is something like, I'm not saying this can be one and this is workable and that is not workable. For example, even surf advertisements, you can say. They may say that the maraka manchide, they say. That means even the stain is good. They look at emotional appeals of love and affection between a child and a mother. Or you can always talk about the how much how many washes you can have from this surf or whatever it is. What are the ingredients there, and all these things can be that can be a logical argument we can bring in. So this is how you're supposed to have. So recognizing these characteristics of people with whom you're interacting, you need to adopt your approach, ensuring a higher likelihood of successful outcomes in personal selling approaches and other negotiation contexts. Thank you very much for your kind attention and time. Now the floor is open for questions, if any. That that of course may be the end of unit 4, I think, and we'll be entering into unit 5 next week. Yeah, it's up to you now. No, let me give you a few more examples. I think. Can I go ahead,
Yes,
Upendra, or should we stop?
yes, sir. We are not getting any noise, sir. You can go ahead for
Okay,
10 more
okay, right,
minutes.
right.
Can you have a look
Okay,
on the stage? Any members are there? If they are in backstage, they are all
one minute, 1 minute. Again, I have to come back, check.
just for that, sir.
You are there, that's all.
Okay. Okay, okay, sir. Yeah.
Anybody else is there? No, no, you are only there, that's all.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay, there's a lot of noise, Pendra, from other side. Some interaction going on there. And can you help me in asking them to stop the conversation and listen to me? Okay, let's now look at the real life negotiation examples, some case studies in person selling that can help you to understand clearly what we have already discussed here. Example one, selling enterprise software to a large corporation. Let's see, scenario is that you're a software company and enterprise software, selling enterprise software to a very large company. A software salesperson is negotiating with a large corporation to sell an enterprise resource planning ERP system. Now, how you're going to prepare, how you're going to lead the conversation, how you go to addressing the concerns, and how you're going to finally close it. This is something with regard to pyramid of success, the entire process of selling, personal selling approach. Let's see. First stage, first step is preparation. The salesperson conducts a thorough research on the corporation's current software systems. Please note, very, very important is that what is the software that the company is using? What are the pain points? Meaning, pain points means what are the deficiencies they experience by using the existing software they have? What are the problems they face and all? And then future goals, what the company wants, what the company wants in future, what how they are interested in solving their own problems. So you gather all the market data and you for yourself market and competitor information to develop a very competitive proposal for yourself, for your product, for your software product. That is the first stage, and this is an research oriented homework that you are supposed to do. One, the company's data, what is that they are using, what are the problems, and what are their future demands on this particular product. And you collect market data. Are there similar products available in the market? The competitors, what they are doing, and what's your product, and how good is your product. That's the preparation phase. Next one is strategy development. Now, yes, you have to move forward, sitting with the customer across the negotiation table and go ahead. Let's look at how you develop your strategy. One is value proposition. Highlight your enterprise resource planning system, ability to integrate various business processes so that it can reduce costs and increase efficiency. Talk to them on money terms. That's your value proposition. Why should I take your ERP system? The customer will have a skeptical question in his mind straight away. So highlight the ERP system's ability to integrate various business processes and reduce costs and increase efficiency. That's your value proposition. Mind it. But then, customer is not completely satisfied with your standardized value proposition oriented sales presentation. They may have their own problems. So, are you interested to tailor the solutions that address the company's specific needs? Answer is yes. That is what we call customization. Try to use your knowledge to tailor the product's proposal. I mean to say the product's what you call supremacy or whatever it is to the customer's concerns. That's why you need to offer tailored solutions to address the corporation's specific needs. Mind it, tailored. You know what is meant by tailor? When you go to the tailor, a shirt, a trouser, we want to have it stitched from the tailor. It should definitely, fit to our own measurements, right? So just like that, you need to customize, answer the customer's concerns, and try to provide your product with that kind of a concern. So offering tailored solutions is another important thing. Then, of course, is definitely money matters. So present a very detailed return on investment, ROI, we call it, analysis to demonstrate the long-term benefits. That's your strategy development. Then, of course, is your negotiation process. Step three, you have to plan for a meeting. I have already told you whether it's an appointed time or a cold call, depends. If you want to walk into the company's office premises to make a presentation, it may not always be good enough. See, make a phone call earlier and fix up an appointment so that the initial meeting can be purposeful as such. So customer may not have idea if you just walk in just like that. So if you can go in for a programmed sales presentation, prior time and all is decided, the customer will also be ready. The customer will also be ready with his doubts, clarifications, what we want to seek from your proposals. So look at the initial meeting. The salesperson builds a rapport with the corporation's procurement team and emphasizing a collaborative approach. You're always interested because you have done a sufficient homework. It's up to you to strategize yourself to how to build a rapport with corporations procurement team, and how to emphasize a collaborative approach is a must here. You need to, because you can show that I'm a software solution provider to you. The customer should get convinced about your solutions, as a matter of fact. So they present the value proposition. That means the salespeople present the value proposition, focusing on how the ERP system addresses the company's pain points. What are the problem areas that are there for the company? Because it is to be tailored minded. Your product may have X feature, Y feature, Z feature, whatever it is. But my problem is my company has the A problem, B problem, C problem, and your product XYZ may not match ABC of mine. That becomes a problem. So you need to present your value proposition, focusing on how the ERP system addresses the company's pain points, very specific problems as such. Then, of course, is very important is handling objections, because most of the time, what may happen is there may be some disruptions while using of that particular product. So address the concerns. The procurement team raises concerns about the implementation timeline and potential disruptions. Now, the company's procurement team now asks you how much time it takes for us to implement your software product and get the results. So the procurement team raises a lot of concerns. Number one is implementation timeline. How much time it takes for us to implement your product, and what are the things that we need to take into consideration, because when new software arrives and you're supposed to implement a new software, there are a lot of other problems, potential disruptions with the existing system as such. And the salesperson reassures them by outlining a phased implementation plan. They guide, you have to guide as a salesperson, you have to guide. Yes sir, our expert team will come and guide you on implementation plan. And you can also provide case studies of similar successful implementations of your product. Bring about some cases like XYZ company, ABC company, sir, we have recently sold this software and see the transition. I shall explain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps how they could be able to do good things after successful implementations. Bring in those things that can help addressing the concerns of the customer. Then, of course, come to the money matter and prices and all that. This is called bargaining phase. The procurement team negotiates naturally for a lower price and additional support services. Please note here it is collaboration, not a compromise. I repeat, you have to be clearly recollecting what we have said yesterday in the earlier sessions. It is a collaborative bargaining, not a compromise bargaining. Compromising means you compromise, salesperson compromising for the sake of the customer and lose some money, whatever it is, by giving them a low price. Of course, giving a concession as a promotional exercise is fine, but ultimately losing your revenues is a compromise, not a collaboration. So that's it. So the procurement team negotiates for a lower price and additional support services. They will ask, no, we want this service, that service, support services after implementation, and give us your product at this software package at this price and all. Then the salesperson offers a discount in exchange for a long term contract. Sir, yes, we'll definitely give you, but provided that you use our services for a long time, like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, because it includes extra training sessions as added value, because we our expert team will come and sit with you and your engineers on successful implementation of this project. But we'll give you a discount, but provided that you give us long-term contract. See this bargain. See this bargain. The customer gets an advantage. At the same time, the salesperson also has an advantage shown from the company, because the customer in question will what you call have the long-term contract signed. Look at what it means. Then, of course, all these things should logically come to the eventual last step. Very important is closing. After several rounds of discussions and adjustments, both the parties agree on the terms and complete the deal. This is very important. All the things will fail if you can't take cognizance of the sixth very, very important step of closing the deal. Whatever time and resources and money or whatever you have wasted on your visits to the customers and presentations, structuring this, that, and all. But you need to answer this. After several rounds of discussions and adjustments, both parties agree on the terms. And at this given point of time, you should have referent power, expert power to negotiate with the customers, and final contract must be signed. The deal is finalized with a contract that it includes clear milestones and performance metrics. Clear. The customer should not have any doubt in his minds. There's a clear milestone all the way. See, over a period of time, this is what it means for you. And these are the performance metrics. What is the long run advantage you're going to derive out of this? All these things. And ultimately, you sign the contract, get it signed by the customer. And after that, you do not have any more doubts, confusions, whatever. Clarifications, etc., must be done here only at this stage. That's closing. So if you follow this kind of a very systematic, scientific approach, what is then is the outcome? Yeah, naturally, the company successfully implements this ERP system, leading to significant cost savings and improved operational efficiency. See, if the sales deal is so systematically organized, the company successfully implements the ERP system. I mean, to say company means the customer company implements the ERP system. The salesperson builds a strong relationship with the client, enduring relationship with the client for the repeat purchases, loyalty. He wins the loyalty of this company or the client, leading to future opportunities for additional sales. Look at this negotiation undercurrents that you are supposed to work out. Upendra, can we go ahead, or
So you, how
it's
much
your
how
time?
much time time it takes, sir? So,
How much
approximately.
time? I mean, okay, another 5, 10. Okay, there's a lot of things
Sir,
to cover. Again, another 10 minutes would be fine.
yes, sir. Okay, 10 minutes, fine, sir.
Okay, you check me with check with me if I'm extending the time. If you think that I'm extending the discussion, you can warn me. So I'll stop there. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's look at some case studies here. I mean, sorry, the case study what we have taken on the customer with ERP package and the sales of the software company providing this. How it entire thing was handled. Let's now analyze this case. First point: The salesperson leverages expert power. Please note, this is the power dynamics. See, the customer will always look at your expert advice minded. Unless the salesperson has a deep knowledge of the ERP system and industry trends, you're gone. See, that means the salesperson who is selling the ERP package to a software company will be in confusion if we do not have a complete knowledge, deep knowledge. That's the thing here. So power dynamics count. That means how effectively, how fluently your sales presentation would be with knowledge based minded. It's not too many nice words of praising the customer and their company. No, having an expert power through deep knowledge of the ERP system and industry trends. That worked here. That has to work naturally. The second is time management. How much time you take for negotiating with the customers like this. So the management of the negotiation timeline effectively, addressing the concerns promptly, keeping the process on track. Every question is answered instantaneously. Mind it. So your objective is to finish the sales deal as early as possible. Of course, you can have a series of sittings like 1, 2, 3, 4 sittings, 1, 2, 3 maximum, max 1, 2, 3, not prolonged discussions. No. So time management is another essential thing because you also have a productive time frame in the process of handling your own sales deals and all. You can't waste time on unproductive calls. So that's very important. So time management is that they manage the negotiation timeline effectively and address the concerns promptly and keeping the process on track. Then how you are going to use this information in order to explain clearly to the customer. That means the company who was taking ERP package. Detailed marketing data, competitor analysis, and ROI projections. Very, very important. Present all the data, detailed marketing data, and competitor analysis, how competitors are going when compared to that of your product. Explain the things. And again, ROI details. Like the company, any say client wants what is the advantage if I take this product, what is the cost saving we have, what is the advantage and speed of transactions, or whatever they have. So a return on investment projections you give clearly. So this is the investment you make now, and after 3 4 years you are going to get this much of return. This is what it means, and our support team will always be with you on successful implementation of this project. So that actually strengthens the salesperson's position. If you are there with all these things, that is a very good strength for you to make your presentation fault free. బికాజ్ మీరు ఎక్కడ ఏమీ ఎవరిని మోసం చేయట్లేదు, చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా క్రిస్టల్ క్లియర్గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నారు. అది చాలా 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 ఇంపార్టెంట్. Let's take another example. Selling a luxury automobile to a high net worth individual. Mind it, this statement should be clearly understood. An automobile company is a seller, and a high net worth individual is the customer. High net worth and high profile customers and matter. Scenario now. A luxury car salesperson is negotiating with a high net worth individual to sell a high end sports car. HNWE means a high net worth individual, nothing more than that. Okay, how the preparatory phase would be, how other phases would be, let's see. In preparation, the salesperson reaches the potential buyer's preferences, lifestyles, and previous car purchases. You need to just have a little knowledge about the history of the potential customer. What are his preferences? What is the lifestyle? And what are his earlier purchases of different brands of the cars? And the salesperson also gathers information on the latest features and benefits of the sports car. Different brands, mind it, different brands. And how can match your car brand with that of other brands as such. They also gather information on the latest features and benefits of the sports car. Then about strategy. Go ahead. One, two, three, four. First one is personalization. Please note that he is a high net worth individual. Customize the sales pitch to align with the buyer's tastes and preferences. You must have to do this sort of homework in preparatory phase, mind it. You could understand, slightly at least, understand his lifestyles, tastes, fashions, preference patterns, etc. Personalize. Sir, for you, this will work out. For you, this will work out like this. Personalize. Associate the product with the customer straight away. Personalization is that. The product is meant for you only like that. Okay. Exclusive benefits. Highlight what is the exclusivity of this particular brand. And what are the performance ratings of this particular brand? And what's the prestige that is associated with this branded sports car? And again, you can draw out an emotional appeals. Like, see, these are the people who bought these sports cars. They always participate in races and all. See, use stories and testimonials. Use stories and testimonials from other high net worth individuals who owned the cars already. So the strategy development include personalization, stating exclusive benefits, and drawing out an emotional appeals. Then the negotiation process, initial interaction, bargaining, and closure. Let's see. In initial interaction, the salesperson meets the buyer at an exclusive event. Mind it, it's highly programmed. It's highly programmed. You're not supposed to tax the high net worth individuals by calling them with cold call approach. No. First of all, you need to establish a connection. So you need to meet not at a selling point. Mind it. You go to a chamber of commerce event and you go there. No, suppose you might have sponsored the event, or you can ask the organizers to provide a premises to demonstrate and your car model, right? Something like that. So then establish a connection by discussing their shared interest in luxury cars. So if you just have this kind of an approach, అంటే ఇన్స్టెడ్ మనం అంటే ఈ కస్టమర్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళిపోకుండా ఏదో ఒక పెద్ద ఈవెంట్ జరుగుతుంటుంది, ఏదో పెద్ద ఇంటర్నేషనల్ మీట్ జరుగుతూ ఉంటే అక్కడ మనము ఒక 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 స్టాల్ పెట్టుకుంటాం, లగ్జరీ కార్ స్టాల్. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఇట్స్ అ కంగ్లోమరేషన్ ఆఫ్ హై నెట్వర్త్ ఇండివిజువల్స్ యాజ్ సచ్. సో డిస్కస్ అక్కడ చిన్న డిస్కషన్, షేర్డ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇన్ లగ్జరీ కార్స్ తెలుస్తుంది, కాన్వర్సేషన్స్ బట్టి తెలుస్తుంది అనమాట. యూ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ ఇట్ మీన్స్. So then the sales people offer a personalized test drive experience, emphasizing the unique features of this sports car. You can even go for test drive. Most of the things, you can, because the first-hand experience you can provide by asking them to go for test drives. So they offer a personalized test drive experience, emphasizing the unique features of these sports cars. Because this is a very, very interesting aspect here is, please note you're answering the problems of high net worth individuals. So highlighting exclusivity is very, very important. Why this is a premium brand and why this is so much important and all that. During the test drive, the salesperson discusses the car's limited production run and other customized options. What is the exclusivity of that particular brand when compared to that of other brands and all that. And the salespeople also share stories of celebrities and high profile individuals who own the same model. So, sir, this film star has got it, and this business magnate of that high profile company of CEO has got it. Like that, you can share the stories of celebrities, appealing to the buyer's sense of prestige. because high net worth individuals' buying habits will always be they go for very prestigious, high standard, exclusive products, then addressing the concerns. Of course, it's not a hard bargaining, but still very important. The buyer expresses concerns about the car's maintenance and the resale value. They may ask you something, questions like this. Because I'm taking a premium brand and what I don't know what would be the maintenance fee, maintenance cost when compared to that of other brands as such. And if you would like to sell and want to change my model, what's the resale value? The salesperson reassures them with the data on cars' strong resale market. Provide the stories again. The car just now resold, sir, 4 years car, a 3 years car is resold at a premium price like this, and answer all those queries, resale market offers, and premium maintenance packages that you're going to give them, how the car can be maintained, what are the premium packages that you're going to give. All these concerns can be handled this way. Then, of course, is the next phase would be one step down to closer is bargaining. Now the buyer negotiates for additional customization options. That means that they want to slightly change the design this way, that way, paint or something, whatever it is. The buyer negotiates for additional customization options and better financial deal. And of course, the salesperson now having the power minded, can be a referent power or legitimate power or an expert power, whatever. Almost you are at the end of closing the sales deal. The salesperson agrees to include some customization at no extra cost and offers an attractive financial plan so that the customer will be in a position to decide in our favor and signs the agreement. Next comes, of course, is the closing. The deal is closed with the buyer agreeing to purchase the car and satisfied with the personalized service and exclusive benefits. So this is how another case study is taken in for the purpose of explanation. You see how a sales talk can be handled. Now, what is the outcome then? If you take this kind of this much of rigor and homework in the process of handling the pyramid of success, the outcome here can be narrated on the following lines. The high net worth individual purchases a luxury sports car, delighted with the personalized experience and exclusive features. That is the undercurrent. Underlying thing is that the customer should be delighted with the personalized experience and exclusive features. If he's delighted, delighted customers are the best advertising medium. They sell the product idea. They themselves sell the product idea to their colleagues, to their friends and relatives and whatnot. So the salesperson secures a high value sale and builds a relationship that could lead to future referrals. Yeah, because the customer can refer some other customers, as a matter of fact. And for referral also, the customer who refers can get the advantage, like some discount or whatever it is, or free maintenance checks or whatever personalized service offers can be. This is how the entire thing will go. Oh, Upendra, can I?
Sir, with this, we can stop case study analysis.
Oh, here with this?
Yes, sir. It's the end of the.
Okay. Anyway, I am coming to that. So let's look at this case study, and for analysis purpose, first one, the salesperson effectively uses emotional appeal by highlighting what cars exclusivity, high status orientation of this brand and all. This is what we call emotional appeal, because high status individuals will always be excited when they want to have all the products with exclusivity. They only can own, like that. So this is what we call emotional appeals. Next is personalization, because most of the things, what may happen is they want most of the time, personalized preferences as such. So tailoring the sales pitch and experience to buyers' preferences ensures a higher likelihood of closing the deal. because you're answering all the personal queries, and you're trying to customize the customer options. So this is what we call personalization. So if your approach is like that, then there is a likelihood of deal getting closed positively. Then, of course, is handling objections. I have already told you there are a lot of buyers' concerns on the factual data. Something sometimes, what the additional maintenance, additional benefits, what is the maintenance cost, and what is the resale value. All these things, we have already discussed. All these things must be answered, and overcoming the objections and finalizing the sale. So this is a very interesting aspect. The real life examples, what we have studied in the name of case studies, because your syllabus also indicates that there must be some case studies to be discussed. That's why I just picked up. So these case studies demonstrate the importance of preparation, strategic planning, effective communication, understanding the opponent, whether it is emotional customer or logical customer, rational thinking or emotional thinking, in personal selling negotiations. And that kind of a care is very, very essential here. And one more important aspect is you have to consider your power dynamics, time management, and utilizing your information data support system. And you should be completely complete in terms of marketing data, competitors' information, facts and figures about the product. And if this is done, tailoring approaches to different opponent types also is very important. How to talk to a customer with emotional arousals, how to talk with the customers with rational thinking. And salespeople with this professional backed up approach can achieve successful outcomes in various selling scenarios. Thank you. This is from my side. And if you have anything to share, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. It's case studies are very interesting. You didn't so
Thank you
it
so much.
helps the students how to go for a sales call or negotiation call.